In a world overflowing with answers, we pause to ask the next question. Welcome to the space where curiosity meets consciousness, where AI evolution and the environment collide with thought. This is the next question.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. We sift through sources to pull out the key insights, getting you informed fast. Today we're looking at the journey of cricketer Dinesh Karthik. And this isn't just about sports. No, it's really a fascinating look at human reinvention, our mission, to figure out why his career is such a masterclass in adaptability. So let's get into it. Dinesh Karthik, his professional debut was, wow, way back in 2004. Just think about that for a second. That kind of longevity in pro sports, it's pretty rare. And since then, gosh, he's had more phases than most careers. He started out, the promising young talent. Then sometimes he was sort of forgotten on the bench. Then a solid Ranji veteran. And then, suddenly, this surprise finisher role in the shorter formats. Plus, a really stylish commentator. Oh, and yeah, even a bit of a fashion icon. It's almost like if you Googled Dinesh Karthik career phases, Google would have to ask, okay, which one? The really striking thing is, instead of just fading away like so many players do, he just kept finding new ways to contribute, to evolve. It's this constant reinvention that's so interesting. How does someone actually do that? Maintain that adaptability?
That's a really good question. And it brings us, I think, straight to a core idea in psychology, neuroplasticity, which is essentially the brain's incredible ability to change, to rewire itself based on experience. And Karthik's career path, it's not just about changing batting stances or something. It's like a living example of neuroplasticity at work. So many people get kind of locked into one identity, their job title, maybe a specific skill, but he just moved so fluidly between these very different roles. He wasn't just the wicketkeeper or the finisher. He was more. And how he dealt with the setbacks, that's key too. Getting benched. Apparently, no sulking. Failing. Accepted it? Okay, learn from it. Even commentary, which could have been like, okay, career's winding down, he turned it into something respected, an art form almost. The sources really paint this picture of no sulking, no blame game, just evolution. It suggests that this isn't just passive acceptance. It's like an active reframing cognitively. Setbacks aren't failures. They're just data, information for the next step. It shows that real adaptability isn't about never failing. It's about having the mental flexibility, the emotional control to just deliberately start again when you see him bounce back again and again. Yeah, that phrase fits. The phoenix with a batting average.
The phoenix with a batting average? I like that. It really captures it. But it does make you wonder, all those comebacks, rising from the ashes, so to speak, what's the psychological wear and tear of that? How do you keep doing it?
It points to some serious inner resilience, doesn't it? It suggests his self-worth wasn't just tied to the latest score or whether he was in the team. It's that classic shift, really, from a fixed mindset, I am what I am, to a growth mindset, I can learn, I can improve. Challenges become opportunities. And this resilience, this mindset, it ties into something broader, too, something almost evolutionary.
Absolutely. We always hear survival of the fittest, right? And people think Darwin meant the strongest or maybe the smartest. But Darwin's actual point, the one that's maybe less quoted but more crucial, was different. He wrote, it is not the strongest or the most intelligent who will survive, but those who can best adapt to change. Adaptability, that was the key.
Exactly. So the question becomes, how well does DK's story fit that Darwinian insight?
Right. How direct is the parallel?
Well, look at the evidence. We saw him adapt his batting, quite dramatically actually, for T20 cricket. Those explosive formats needed a different game, and he evolved. He didn't fight it. And beyond just his own stats, he shifted towards mentorship within teams, using his experience to guide others. That's another kind of adaptation. And even publicly, he went from being someone fans might criticize or, let's be honest, troll online sometimes, to someone widely trusted, respected for his insights, his commentary. He didn't just put up with change. The sources suggest he danced with it, saw the potential.
He really did seem to dance with it.
Yeah.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
Which makes me think, and maybe you listening too, how do we get better at that? How do we move from just reacting to change, maybe resisting it, to actually dancing with it like DK seemed to? What does that look like day to day?
Practically. It's about building certain mental habits, I think. Consider this. Dinesh Karthik is kind of like your favorite phone app. The one that keeps getting updates. Improving features, fixing bugs. Maybe not perfect after every update, but always. Evolving, always getting better. You could almost say he's the human version of hitting Ctrl+Alt+Delete on your career when needed.
Okay, Ctrl+Alt+Delete. That's a catchy analogy. Let's break that down. What does that mean in practical terms?
Yeah, it's pretty actionable. First, control your ego. Karthik did this constantly, right? Accepting different roles, sometimes smaller ones, not letting past glory or past failures define the present moment. It's that humility to say, okay, I need to learn something new here. Then alt your game. That's about actively changing your skills, adapting to what's needed now, even adding totally new skills like commentary. It's proactive, not just reactive. And finally, delete your past, which doesn't mean forget it, obviously, but it means letting go of the emotional weight, the baggage of setbacks, focusing on the next thing, the next chance to reinvent, and his whole career. Really, it's powerful proof of something important. Failure isn't the opposite of success. It's actually, well, it's part of the process, maybe even essential to it.
That specific idea, failure not being the opposite of success, but a part of it, that's a big one. Makes you rethink things. So for anyone listening now, maybe feeling a bit stuck in a job, a routine, whatever, the question Karthik's journey poses is pretty direct, isn't it? It's like, can I choose to adapt, to evolve? Or am I just kind of aging in place, letting things happen to me? You know, when you look back at Dinesh Karthik's career, maybe he doesn't have the most medals or the biggest records, but you could argue he's possibly the most evolved cricketer we've seen.
And that really pushes back against a lot of what we celebrate today, doesn't it? This obsession with being first, with overnight success stories. Karthik's career suggests that maybe, just maybe, late bloomers bloom best, or at least bloom differently, more sustainably. It raises a really interesting point for all of us. What if, instead of chasing relevance all the time, we started chasing reinvention, that shift in focus? That could really change things, change your life, potentially.
A really powerful thought to leave you with. DK might not have won every single match, but by constantly adapting, he made sure he was always in the game, always part of the tournament. How could that apply to you?
If this made you think, imagine where the next question will take you. Subscribe to stay curious, because the journey never ends. It only evolves with the next question.